That's right, folks. We have the people here. We weren't, we were 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, respectively, in the Rumble. They decided not to go with that many people. The Power Bombcast has returned. And I am, I guess, technically your host. I just say things first at the top. Jan Ochoa here, joined as always by Dan Reichert.
Hello. How's it going? I was going to replace Ray. I figured us being 31, 32, that when Ray didn't come out, they should slot us in. But,
yes.
That was an oversight on their part.
Yes. Dan, I want to let you know that I would not knock you out and then wear your mask immediately after you, okay? I just want to let you know that.
I would do a thing where you and I lasted together for a long time in the Rumble, and we were teaming up, and then when you weren't looking, and I would sneak up behind you and just shit can you over the top.
I respect it. It's a sound strategy.
Yeah, we're still friends and everything, but hey, every man for himself. They say it. Yeah.
Yes. We have the butt slapper himself, Jeff Grubb.
Now, be honest, when you hear that Ray is getting stem cells, you imagine him eating babies like in South Park, right?
The old South Park, the
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve
Still-
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
100%.
That's what I'm imagining. I imagine Dom
cracking 'em
stole
open
his, and
and-
that's why he couldn't wrestle. Okay.
We got our own ex-con Dom, Mike Minotti, the bad boy, Mike Minotti.
Yeah, Jeff was going to be 33, and then he wasn't going to come out, and then I was going to come out 34 holding this bag of his hair.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Is that
That's all
actually,
that's
is that a shoot bag of hair?
Yes.
Let's just shoot. Yeah, the hair's in here. Yeah, it's
Fuck.
gross, right?
That's so gross. Throw that away.
Mike, this isn't how we want to.
I left it-
we
I left
have
it
a
at
new
his friend's
friend
house.
here, and this is how you start the pod.
This is
Hi,
weird. He's
friend.
going to
This is
leave.
my other friend's hair. Do you want to give me a bag of your hair? It'll be our friendship thing.
If you need it.
Welcome
No, I
to the
need
pod, to the Power Bombcast. John Blood of New Legacy and Deadlock. Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Now that I know the butt slapper, I think I'm going to team up with him and not Dan. For
What?
damage.
Let's get them.
Oh, you team up with Jan. He's got the deadlock orange on.
He does have the deadlock, and he's super handsome, but butt slapper is right up my alley, bro.
Yeah.
What about the guy with the hair? Danhausen has teeth. I have hair. It's great.
You got so
I got
much hair,
butts
bro.
in both palms. Let's go.
Wait, speaking of the color orange, let me ask you non-Johnny folks here. What color is the sun?
Oh, here we go, bro.
Oh,
I mean, yellow is the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yellow, whitish.
Yeah.
Okay, they were drafting orange things on Deadlock like
The
a month or
sun
two ago,
counts,
and they
bro.
drafted the sun.
Wait.
At some point during the cycle, it looks very orange. And if you
That's
Google-
fair. That's
if you
fair.
Google orange things, the sun will be one of those things.
Actually, today, one of the first things my kids said when we woke up at sunrise was, it's very orange right now, and the only light coming in was sunlight.
Kid. Look, has your kid ever drawn a dime?
Butt slapper kids get it.
Yeah.
Your kid's never worked. Your kid's never drawn a dime. What does your kid know?
Okay,
The little butt slappers know what colors are if they know anything.
John, I'm on Google right now. Safe search
Yes.
is turned on,
Okay.
but orange things. It isn't until the 6th row that I get a sun. So
Okay, but it's there.
it's there. It's there.
It's there. See,
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I need.
John-
Dan already trying to throw me under the bus. That's why I'm with the butt slapper.
Yeah.
John, for the folks
Listen.
that aren't familiar with you, please tell the folks at home who John Blood is.
Oh boy, there could be a lot of things. Really, I've been doing wrestling video game content since I was 16.
Ooh.
I turned 30 recently, so I've been doing it for a minute. I've been doing New Legacy Inc. with my friends. We're on YouTube. We play a lot of wrestling video games. I'm also a part of the Deadlock Pro Wrestling podcast that comes out every Monday with CM Pulse and Tony Pizza Guy. We talk about old wrestling shows, Attitude Era, and all the fun WCW, ECW, all that stuff. We just pick a random show every week to talk nonsense about. And of course, about a year ago, we then started Deadlock Pro Wrestling, which is our own wrestling company that we run out of North Carolina currently.
Ooh.
It's the best thing ever, and you should check it out.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to say declaratively here, it's the best thing in North Carolina. As someone that
That's
knows
perfect.
nothing about North Carolina, it's the best thing.
Bojangles.
There's
We got
Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Oh,
Look out,
okay.
it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
the Outer Banks have really been slipping recently, so yeah, totally.
Yeah. John, I just picked up this one. Day of Reckoning 2 on the GameCube. Is this a good one?
It is a good one. Day of Reckoning 1 is better, though.
Who's on that cover?
Oh, that's Stacy Keebler's back, specifically.
Okay.
Oh, right.
The
Cena
shoulder
and,
blades.
Lemmy Mustache Triple H is on there as well.
Oh,
Johnny?
wow.
Yeah.
In honor of North Carolina, I don't think you know this about my Xbox 3 or my Xbox Series
Oh,
X,
God,
but can you
that's right.
describe this Xbox?
That's
There
why
is
the
no
Bojangles
way.
rattled my brain. That's why, God, I was like, what does Bojangles mean something in this context?
Is that a real
Jesus Christ.
Xbox?
Dan,
This is my Xbox. This is my primary Xbox.
Branded Xbox. Does this work?
Yes.
Yes,
Bojangles.
it's a Series X.
Where did you
Yes.
get this and why?
Bojangles.
Wait, what?
And they gave me fried chicken controllers. My fried chicken controllers, they have a decal. Looks like fried chicken.
Oh.
I asked them for it, and Bojangles gave it to me. So I have
Like,
this.
okay, because in my mind, I thought you were saying you went into Bojangles and they just had it.
Yeah, I ordered number 2 and an Xbox Series X. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, fuck, I got a wedding at Taco Bell, so yeah.
That's true. Well, make sure you get the Bowberry biscuit. That's the most important part.
Yes.
Well, John, welcome to the podcast. We're happy to have you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Johnny is somebody who I listen to and makes me feel like I don't know shit about wrestling because I've been watching my whole life, but I'm so just myopic, like North American stuff. Johnny knows every fucking indie thing, deathmatch, Japanese pro wrestling, just all this shit that like I've been going back. I'm a patron of theirs, and they have this watch this thing where they watch a bunch of shit that I have not seen before. It's like commentary tracks over. Like I'm learning about like Aja Kong and all this cool shit. Like I'm learning a lot about pro wrestling finally.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm sure you can tell Dan is why I was invited here today. Dan's been lovely to me for a while. We became good friends after he left, a certain place, and he was finally able to admit that he liked Deadlock.
Well, no, the way I found out about them was after Gargano quit. He went on his Twitch channel when he was unemployed for a little bit, and he spilled the beans on the fact that me, Adam Cole, Gargano, Dakota Kai, and Stokely Hathaway made an Attitude Era rewatch podcast. It was a pilot that never saw the light of day. And so Johnny mentioned that, and then I saw all these comments online being like, oh, so they're just ripping off Deadlock. And I was like, what the fuck is Deadlock? And so I just looked it up, and it quickly became my favorite podcast. So
Nice.
yes, Johnny and the crew were excellent.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you so much. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, like I've been watching wrestling since I was probably 7 years old. The first show I went to was when I was 9. It was XPW. I don't know if any of you were familiar with that.
Damn. XPW.
Yeah, XPW. It was at the ECW Arena. It was their first show in Philly. I was 9 years old. Main evented by Shane Douglas versus Terry Funk, in which Terry Funk tried to break a glass bottle against a wall to use it as a weapon against Shane Douglas. Ended up slicing himself from his wrist to kind of high on his forearm, and then used Shane Douglas porn star manager's panties to wrap it up. I was 9 years old.
Wrestling is so beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was at the
Jasmine
reference to
St. Clair or
Shakespeare.
Jessica Darlin? Who
It
was
was
this?
Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden, that's right. Okay. I'm trying to think of other porn star / wrestling.
You had a whole good list there, though. Rocky, for a minute.
I mean, I've heard.
Yeah, of course.
So we gathered here today to talk about the Royal Rumble. If time permits, we'll talk about some other assorted stuff happening in the world of wrestling. Dan and John, you two were on the floor. You were there live in Texas for the Royal Rumble. Now, I'm not going to.
We were in the back, but these guys were actually in seats as well, so they got to see the
We had
action.
given up on our entries. We were
Right,
like, "Ah, we're
exactly.
just gonna
Yes,
go
yes.
enjoy it."
Just fondling the
still
hair.
Mike, you don't have to bring it everywhere you go, man.
He
Gross
does.
and weird.
I made him sign a contract.
It's like a security blanket, man. You got it.
I'm not going to speak for everyone, but last year's Rumble, not the best.
Sure.
No,
That's fair.
especially not that men's one.
Yeah.
Did you think this year was better?
Yes.
Okay.
Dan and
So-
John, I'd love to hear what the vibe was like over there. What was the feelings on the Rumble as it was happening?
Yeah, so this was the third Rumble I'd ever been to live. The Royal Rumble is my favorite show. There's a thing I do on New Legacy every other year where we go through 30 different video game Royal Rumbles and then pick one winner, or we get a winner from each Rumble. Then we do a Rumble of those to decide who's the ultimate Royal Rumble winner. So I love the Rumble. So I was very excited to go to this. I was brought in by 2K, so I was in a nice little press box. Had a little some food in there. I was very excited. So I watched it live, and then I watched it again when I got home because I like to know how it feels. It's obviously a live experience is a lot different than watching it at home.
Yes.
I actually felt like I enjoyed it more at home than I did live.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, oddly enough. Yeah, I don't know why. Something about and I was with my friends at the show and all, so it's not like anything was taking away from the show or anything. But something about it live, we were all just kind of like, oh, this is not great right now. Like for most of the show.
Oh. Interesting.
Did you
Then
have
I
a
got
good
home and
like?
watched it. I was like, oh, this is way better than I remember.
So I assume that the press box. Like, did you have the TVs up there, or was it just the?
No, it
kinda
was just
angle?
straight down. Yeah.
Okay, so we couldn't see the entrances where we were. We were on the
Okay.
floor, and so we had a great view of the ring, but we couldn't see entrances. So certain things like Dom coming out and having the mask, we didn't know what happened with Ray. Like, where the hell did he show up
Yeah.
or whatever? And so we didn't see the Dom mask thing. We didn't get that. There's things like when the bloodline's coming out, it's just like you're hearing that like Succession music for like 20 minutes before you see anyone. It's like, are they coming? I assume they're walking down here, right? Like, because they only show the Titantron video on the screen, not the
Right.
actual like camera view.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there is definitely something to like. I think you gain and lose things by watching at home versus watching live.
Sure.
Like you don't get the energy in the building watching from home, but like, man, it's real nice to be able to order some fucking Popeyes and take a shit and get a beer or something when you're sitting at home, where it's like everything is a lot more
In
complicated.
that order.
Exactly. Yes.
You can still do
Not my
that
first rodeo,
minus the
John.
Popeyes at the show.
There was
Dan.
a
That's
Popeyes
true.
pretty close to the venue, so he probably could have brought that in.
I was doing Whataburger down there.
I did that at 3 a.m. after the Rumble.
That's a proper time to get Whataburger. That's good. Yeah. I thought one thing that was weird about it, I thought it was much better than last year, the men's Rumble. I kind of almost feel like it was weird that Gunther was kind of built up to be, it was almost like a babyface thing. He was like their, first out, and he was just kicking ass the entire time. And then this is kind of a running thing with Cody throughout his, I guess, ever since leaving WWE, where it's like he's positioning himself as this massive babyface. But it's like, well, hang on, who's the babyface at the end here? The guy who has been busting his ass the entire match, or the guy who comes in at 30 and wins?
I thought the exact same thing. Not about. I mean, Gunther was obviously in there forever, but in my mind, they did it with Rhea. Rhea was number one.
Yeah.
Iron
reversed.
Woman's it all the way through. She's like the top heel there. Cody comes out 30 and just wins. I was like, yeah, this feels like it should have been flip flopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
30
think
thing
they were
was
worried
weird.
about Cody being injured or something again, possibly.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
couldn't go literally for like an hour and 10 or whatever,
Sure.
like go through there. But having that 7-minute like fight between the two of them, it was neat and it was well done. I never thought there was any chance Cody wasn't going to win though, so there wasn't that much drama there. It's not like when Shawn Michaels and Undertaker did it in 2007, where those were the two most likely people to win the Rumble that year, I remember. So it was really exciting. Like, I don't know who's going to win. Like, from the beginning, we figured Cody was going to win. If not him, maybe Sammy or like The Rock if they show up. But those people didn't show up. So by the end, when we realize Cody's 30, at that moment, you kind of know who's going to win.
Yeah. Something like, they I feel like I mean, maybe just to get people to tune in to the Rumble, and obviously, I'm pretty sure they broke like a record number of viewership for it. So maybe getting Cody, Cody on there maybe turn some eyes. But in my mind, it's like, dude's number 30, he's gonna win. Just maybe give us a little, you don't gotta tell me he's gonna be in it. Just let me get the pop when he comes out, because I when it comes down to 30, it's like, okay, I know Cody's coming, and he's probably gonna win now. It didn't really give me much to be excited about near the end.
And the timing of his injury was such that, like, when they gave the time frame, it was like, well, that sounds about perfect for a Rumble return.
yeah.
Like, I think people could have assumed it and been excited and watched the pay-per-view because of it, or the premium live event.
Yeah, Cody.
Exactly. Like, I always hate when I think the Batista one back in 2014 was different because I think that leaked, like some house show listing or something leaked, but that would have been cooler if he was a surprise thing. And everyone knew Batista was going to be in, so everyone was ready to shit on him because they wanted Daniel Bryan that year.
I was there that year.
Oh my!
Oh,
That was the
nice.
best
You were
part.
there?
It was the craziest live show I ever went to, because it wasn't even just that. People were crapping all over that show because it had Cena versus Orton for the 20th time, so everyone was cheering for Michael Cole and stuff just to shit on it. And then the Rumble, it was just a full-on Rumble. I just
2014
walking out that
is
arena.
that one? Is that
I
2014?
believe it was 2014.
Because I think 2015 is the one, the last one I went to in Philly, which is the one Roman won and Bryan also did not win, and people were not happy, even with the
that
Rock
was The Rock,
coming out.
right? Raising his hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Oh,
Love
yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Oh, man.
That Ralph cocked up there, yeah.
Yes. So it was probably a smart idea to not have Sammy in the Rumble if he's
Sure.
not winning. 'cause
Well, it
otherwise-
made sense later
clearly.
why Sammy wasn't in the Rumble.
That as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
I'll say the Rumble was about as predictable as it could have been, and yet I still mostly enjoyed it. They obviously could have improved the storytelling throughout that Rumble, and yet it was like, if for knowing that Cody's going to come in and win this thing, I'm enjoying him coming in and winning this thing still.
Sure.
Yeah,
Even the worst Rumble is still fun to watch.
That's
Oh,
sure.
That's a big part of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really smart use of Brock because like we've seen so many years now where Brock comes in and just cleans fucking house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
He's a killer. Yeah.
I didn't want to see it again because like we've seen that. And so like to have him come out, oh God, he's going to do it again. He knocks out a couple guys, but then for Lashley to knock him out so early and Brock to be super pissed off and also just trucking fucking Corbin when he came out. I thought that was
Was he in
awesome.
there for
with
3
Brock.
minutes? How long was he in there for?
It sounded about like that.
Yeah, definitely less than 5. I think they could have played around the whole Gunther thing at the end of just have the rest of Imperium come out and like okay, like let's let him heal it up. It's justified for them to come out. He's been in the Rumble for an hour plus, and then they could do their thing, mess with Cody. But just like if Sammy wasn't coming out at 30, we all knew it was going to be Cody, and then
exactly. That's how I thought. Was there anyone else other than those two you guys thought could win?
Because the surprise thing, if it was
in
Rock
my
or
mind.
Austin or something.
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, if Austin was gonna be there, I didn't think he would win, but I was hoping he would like show up for funsies. But yeah, like maybe The Rock if they got all that to work out, which sounds like it's not, which is like fine. There's 2 more interesting feuds for Roman Reigns right now, anyways. Like that can wait.
I think for a variety of reasons, I didn't think there was any real chance of Sammy entering and winning because it seems like with Elimination Chamber being in Montreal, like that is the time to do Sammy versus Roman. Have the big turn happen beforehand, which we saw later that night.
But I was holding out for hope. That's my guy, Sami Zayn. I wanted him to win, and I want him to win the big one.
They're doing Cody, and then I just don't think the Sammy thing's happening. But Montreal, you get the fucking near falls. You make us all believe, do some killer near falls in Montreal, get some all-timer crowd reactions, and then it's going to wind up. What's that?
And then he wins, right? And then he wins.
They're going to have him and Kevin fight the Usos at Mania or something like that.
That's not enough for this thing. This is the highest angle they have. It
is.
It's so awkward because like you have this Cody thing and you kind of can't like shit on that now. It's just going to be so weird though to get at WrestleMania, which is 2 nights, and we don't have like a really big thing with this whole storyline. Like, them versus the Usos is fine, but imagine how big it would be if it was Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns and Sammy wins. Like that would just be an iconic WrestleMania moment forever.
Yeah, the only way I can see Sammy getting into WrestleMania at this point is if Cody puts his title shot on the line. It feels like a very Cody thing to do of like,
sure, right.
Like I'm going to be the hero that everyone needs. Here you go, everyone.
Well, I also I can't remember where I heard this, but it's a good point that if they have Saudi shows coming up, they got to have the champion on the shows, and Sammy going in as the champion. So
$50 million is a big reason why Sammy's not going to get it.
The reality of the situation, it is.
Yeah,
so that's why I do not see it happening.
You would support that, Dan Reichert.
I would love to see Sami Zayn.
My understanding.
It's Cody Rhodes' dear personal friend. It's Sammy's. No!
He does have 2 belts, and we have 2 people we want to beat Roman Reigns.
But wouldn't that, let's say Cody's Sunday and Sammy's Saturday, doesn't that deflate a bit of the Cody win if Cody's already lost? Yeah.
So here's my thinking, and
I think
this
they already
is
confirmed it's only 1, right? He's only doing 1 match.
Cody referred to Sunday, so I think we know Sunday main event is going to be Cody Roman. Yeah.
My line of thinking here, and this is me just fantasy booking. Roman has to lose at Mania, right? This is how you end the reign.
And here's the thing. Okay. They put a lot of stock into that, the longest reigning, whatever. Remember, I can't remember who it was after, because Punk had the longest reigning thing of the modern age or whatever. They made a point of, they had somebody, I can't remember if it was Roman or somebody. They made a big deal.
I think it was Roman.
Yeah. It was probably Roman. The longest reigning. They did it with, I think Nikki Bella. They made a big deal out of, this modern star is the top, whatever. They've done it with the Usos. So I think they like all the longest reigning champions to be modern champions.
Sure.
And granted, this is a long ways off, but it's been fucking 2+ years for Roman. What was San Martino, 4?
He's hot still, too. He's still.
I know he is. So it's do they keep this thing going? Because, Cody's what, 36? Are people still going to be hot for Cody getting the belt 2-3 years from now? Hell, at this point, I don't know if the crowd's going to turn on Cody by Mania the way they turned on him in AEW.
Right?
It happened fast.
It did happen
bad
fast.
reason. I think that's a reason they might do it. It's a bad reason to do it though. To keep it going, because they care so much about the longest reigning thing. That's very myopic, very narrow-minded, I think, in terms of maintaining the excitement that they have right now. It's like you just risk the heat going away for any number of reasons. Now you have to stick with it because you decided 2 years from now he's still going to have the belt. I don't know.
Everyone's going to need a break at some
I
point.
didn't know we were using big words today, so I'm already checked out.
I think Dan used myopic first, everybody.
For the record, I said myopic. I used it correctly.
Myopic,
Yes.
Saudi Arabia, I heard him say. Actually.
That doesn't sound right.
So what I was getting at is like, okay, whether or not Roman does win or does lose to Cody or whoever night 2, I still think The Rock comes out. To build to something, whether it's the next Mania or whatever. And like this, like The Rock coming back, I feel like could save his stock, because right now in Hollywood it's kind of on the down low.
Sure.
You know, it's going down.
Do they
Is he gonna
really
change-
do like big returns like that at Mania anymore? Like I feel like that's more like of a like Raw after Mania thing.
They've done the year-long tease thing after Mania. Like they
That's
were
like the
going to
Raw
tease
after,
Rock
right?
versus Brock. Remember when Rock got hurt in that second Cena match, and they were
Yeah.
going to tease Rock versus Brock the next night, but he was hurt. And then like
right.
obviously Rock and Cena was the Raw after Mania when they said like, hey, next year let's fight. You know,
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we could talk a little bit more about what all happened with Sammy in a second, but other things from the Rumble. How'd you guys feel about Booker T? I was pretty happy with it. I thought
I
it
was
a
fine
pretty
with
good
it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
It was a good use of Booker T. Got a spin-a-rooney out of it, you know?
Yep.
I
Do you
thought
see
I
what he
read
said
that
about it
was-
too? He's like, all
What
you
did he
dipshits like saying that like, oh, I got jobbed out or whatever. He's like, I would much rather get jobbed out by Gunther than Gunther get jobbed out to me. Like, I love these veterans that are like talking about this. Like, you know, Sean Waltman saying that like, oh, like sarcastically, I wish we could have hit all our finishers on Imperium or whatever. Like Waltman gets it, you know, like the old stuff when they like buried Revival and stuff. Like they didn't want to do that. That was creative, you know?
Yeah.
Sean, what do you mean? Sean's a saint, Dan. What are you talking about?
Waltman? I love Waltman.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh, I'm talking about Waltman. I'm talking about Sean
So
Waltman.
Booker wasn't meant to be in, right? Is that the word? Like
He thinks he
replaced
was
Ray?
Ray's replacement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
his
see.
understanding of it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting that like, he wasn't in it at all then. So like the amount of like quote unquote surprises was pretty minimal.
And I was fine with that.
Mims?
Yeah. I think I was
Could have
fine
done
with
with
that.
more. I like the surprises, even if
I
it
do
is
too.
just
I'm a
an
sucker
old
for
guy
it.
coming out. Like
Was
there was like
Boogs?
the one year where
Boogs was
like,
raw.
just
Raw. Okay, right.
I remember it was just like Road Dogg coming out one time, and even then it was like, yeah, Road Dogg, awesome, right? You could bring out anybody from my childhood. I'll be excited.
I was
When
hoping
Nash was Diesel. When
Oh,
Nash
that
came out
was
as
good.
Diesel that one
That was
year in
good.
2011. Yeah.
Your old baby
the mark out
center.
moment.
I was hoping they would pull the Elias Zeke card on the same night here for the Rumble.
Oh,
I think Zeke is dead.
Yeah. Oh no.
That man no longer exists along with the rest of the family, I think.
Oh no. The thing that pains me about the men's Royal Rumble is that Logan Paul continues to be an amazing athlete.
Oh god,
God damn
that
it.
spot is incredible.
yeah, that son of a bitch is too damn good.
That is
Trying
undeniable.
to kill himself at least. Like at least it's like he's trying
Yeah.
to damage himself permanently. At least hurt yourself if you're going to be that good. And man,
Do
that
something
was a
cool
good
if you're hurting
spot.
yourself.
Is
Yes,
this the
God,
Paul
it
with
was
the
cool.
NFT scam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Ah, fine.
I would believe it for either.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're not-
100%. He really, really does have an NFT scam. Yes.
Yeah, you're
of
not
course,
down
of
with the
course.
crypto zoo hatching, bro.
Yeah,
I got my eggs. Hatching them eggs.
Is that
bro.
really what it's called?
Yep.
It's
Sure,
yeah,
yeah.
crypto zoo, and yeah, you hatch the eggs, and then there's your fucking eggs, bro.
Then you lose
That
all your
sounds
money.
awesome. That doesn't sound like a scam. That sounds like a good time.
You go hit on that, Dan. You let us know how it goes for you.
Yeah,
No,
you would
okay.
say that, Dan.
No!
Dan, that's really myopic of you.
Invite this motherfucker on the podcast. He's saying I'm a crypto Saudi Arabia guy.
There had to be someone.
Every
There
time,
had to
Johnny.
be someone.
Poor Kofi.
I gave you a copy of Rogue Warrior for the Xbox 360, and this is how you repay me.
He gave me a copy of Rogue Warrior for the 360 at like 2 a.m. at a Dave and Buster's.
It's
that
the one the
cold?
rap we
That's the
listen to.
only time you're allowed to hand over a copy of that game. And the
Yes.
only place.
Otherwise, you're getting arrested.
Yes, exactly. Did you listen to the rap song? It's the one with the rap song, right, Dan?
Oh, yes. Mickey Rourke rap at the end of the
Rourke
credits.
rap, yeah.
He's been
Oh, yes.
demanding that I play it, so I have to.
Yes.
But Mike, yes, poor Cody. That was
Oh
a
my
that was a
God.
bad.
Or Kofi.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I think they turned it into an angle. You know, because
he just constantly messes up now.
But like,
It's like,
He's
well,
eating
like
shit.
isn't that what they did with the Shockmaster? Like, didn't his gimmick just become that he was?
Yeah.
Like, let's not
I
do
think-
that to
I
Kofi.
can't remember if it was
Kofi,
as
he gets
Tugboat
mad
or his
about
real
it.
name. Yeah.
Like-
they had it. Well, they did that with fucking Tensai too. Do you remember when he was Lord
Yeah.
Tensai and he was like
Yes.
main eventer, and then they started making him like bumble around and fall on the ramp. Then he just wound up in a
dancing.
tag team with the Funkasaurus called Tons of Funk.
But
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is
What is that
how
name?
this is how you get Kofi back to the main event. He starts doubting himself because he thinks he's too clumsy, he thinks he's too old, but he's still got a lot left in the tank. Let me tell you, when him and Woods had that face off, I was like, I could buy this as like a program.
Yeah, that was cool.
I could buy this as a
Yeah.
full like main event program, and then that's how you get Big E
Ass
back to
slapping.
like break it up. But then they started ass slapping, and I still had a good time.
Then I got fired up
That
for the
was
butt
better.
slapping, right? Yeah.
There's
He would be on our
a
team for sure.
100%.
there was a deflating feeling where I was sitting because Woods got me my seats, and so we were in like the New Day seats section, and so like all of Kofi's neighbors, since he's from Texas, were all around me. It's just like all these families, and everyone's wearing Kofi shirts and stuff. And then that happened, and where I was like, oh no, Kofi.
No,
that sucks.
I
Dan
feel
sitting
so
there going, ha 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 ha.
Kofi.
wow. I'm learning so much about how Dan's a bad person. What the fuck is
Dude, this is the side you guys don't see. I thought you all knew this.
Yeah, he's usually
Yeah, I
an
shit talk
angel.
Kofi Kingston. Yes, that's what I do. Delightful man.
All right, gents.
That
Any
was a
other
shame, though.
closing thoughts about the men's Royal Rumble?
I just wish Glacier would have been there. That's it. That's all.
Oh my
That's all I
God.
need.
He can go.
Give me some Glacier.
Can-
Is he,
Can
is
he?
he still just an
artist.
I don't.
I assume he just follows Cody around in his entourage wherever Cody goes, right?
Is he in the Nightmare family officially?
So yeah,
Okay.
he did like a little
Right.
stint in Chikara in like 2010, and they had like at the ECW arena they had like Sandstorm playing, and they had there's just, like a dude standing on a ladder with a fan trying to blow like snow at him.
Yes.
It was awesome.
That rules because like that original entrance was like what, like $10,000 or whatever.
Yeah, it was
every
the most
time you got in the
expensive
ring.
entrance
Oh
ever.
my
Blood
god!
runs cold. Yeah.
Oh my
Super
God.
expensive.
He was in like a AEW like casino battle royale, like that first Double or
I
Nothing,
think
wasn't
that's
he?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
rules.
Cryonic kick.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Myopic kick.
Myopic kick. That's Dan's new. That's not his. That's not
Used
his
it
finishing
correctly.
move. That's his signature.
He always pins him after it. They kick out. He's like, oh, he's
I
shocked.
didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Hits him with the Saudi Arabia crypto afterwards.
My God. What the hell are we doing?
All right, let's move on to the women's Royal Rumble match. Thoughts on this, gents? I feel like the right person was won the Rumble.
Yes. Rhea
You're
is
just gonna
clicking.
Skip over the pitch black.
She
match.
looks-
You're just gonna disrespect my.
Oh
man
no, we
like
got to go
this.
back to the pitch black. You want to go right to the women's rumble?
Yeah, let's go to the
Sure,
women's
that's
Rumble.
fine.
Then we'll
All right,
because
I'll
I
take
feel like
that.
there might be more to be said about the pitch black match.
I was looking at you, Jeff. Jeff's so
know you are.
excited because
I'm not
Caesar.
so excited.
Jeff liked it.
I liked it. All right, I'll admit it. I'm not afraid.
I'm gonna shit on Jeff so hard later. I'm so excited. But yes, the women's rumble. I think I might even like this more than the men's one. Actually, just
I
in terms
did.
of storytelling.
Yeah,
I guess a little weird. Again, that you like the number one entrant is like their big heel right now, but still everyone is like behind her. They all like play along and boo
Yes.
her, right? But we all
Her
all
and
love the
Dom.
mommy.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
they're
man.
killing it.
I love Dom right now. His
Prison Dom is a stroke of genius. His teardrop tattoo, he was in there for like 6 hours in like a county jail. It's so fucking funny. And Dom gets it so much. He understands
Yeah.
what's funny about it. Oh my God, I love
But I
everything
feel
about
like
that.
people
And
were
Rhea.
just about to turn on him anyway, so it was probably the right move.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
smart.
Has there ever been? I'm sure it has. I mean, I'm not sure. Has there been a Rumble match where number 1 and number 2 are the final two?
No, I
Yes.
think they said this the first time it was number one, and
Really?
number two, number
Wow.
one and number two.
Yeah.
Didn't Bulldog and Michaels do that too?
See, I thought that too, but I wasn't sure.
Michaels was one that year in like what 95.
Wasn't it only like 20 people? No, that was the one where it was like 30 seconds between each entrant. It was weird.
Oh.
It was like a 30-minute rumble.
But yeah, that concept is pretty cool. I mean, obviously, it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often enough that we remember it, at least. So,
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought number 1 and yeah, that's right. Michaels and Bulldog, I think, were the
Okay.
final two in that one. Yeah, 95. So
Cool.
it's been a very long time. That's a pretty cool
Yeah.
trope. And those two did pretty well in that match.
Yeah, good for Liv. I feel like
Yeah.
they really fumbled the
Yeah.
bag with Liv after the whole Ronda stuff, but like they're building her back up. I was very excited for Asuka to come back with the clown makeup.
Oh my
That was
God.
dope.
She
Oh.
She's so fucking cool.
Big pop.
She's the best.
That was.
Now, I don't know, like, Johnny, you might know this. Like, her in Japan before she was in WWE, did she do the thing where, like, when she's in clown mode that she, like, fights differently? Because lately I've seen her doing, like, different moves and stuff. And, like, you'll hear about that where it's, like, more aggressive if you have this version of you,
that's
you know?
what she was in Japan. So maybe that's just she's hankering back to, like, she's like, oh, I'm just going to kill you again. I'm not. The WWE
awesome.
style is bullshit, and I'm going to kill you now.
That's a good gimmick.
Yeah, it is good. And she looks awesome. Yeah, she did great. I mean, and the finishing sequence with them three was money, man. The
That was
mist
a great
dope.
finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
And people were. I mean, I was like, whoa, shit, they're gonna give this to Liv. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
There was a chance there at least.
there was a slight chance. I'm always a big mark for whenever Mist is used, and I felt like Mist was being like overly used for a bit. But here, oh man, good use of it.
Perfect.
Shit.
Yeah, very cool.
I had a really sinking feeling in my gut at one point. It was late in the match, and I was like, a lot of women in the ring right now. I was like, who's going to get the Diesel spot? And I was like, who's a big woman that could come out and clean house? Tamina's already out there. And I thought, oh no. And I turned to my friend and I was like, it's going to be Nia with the Diesel spot. And then, I'm not like modes, girls.
And then they blew the countdown.
They botched the countdown.
Yes.
Now, how does that? Is that production's fault, or did she go out too early? How does that happen?
That would almost have to be a production thing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can
which
we
is,
just make it her fault?
Couldn't happen to a nicer
Yeah.
person.
You know what it was is that someone was probably joking around in the production truck about like, oh, Nia always botches stuff, and then puts their cup of coffee down, and then the music played. I'm like, oh shit, it just happens.
Is she is she signed again, or was that just a one-off?
I think it might be
I
a
have not
one-off.
heard anything about her being signed. No.
That'd be awesome.
When I was backstage at Tampa Mania 2 years ago, when Hogan was there doing his pirate shit or whatever, nobody
that dude?
was anywhere. Oh god, nobody would spend any time around Hogan. Even like the NWO who he was getting inducted with, like Nash and Hall and all those guys would like leave like when Hogan was entering a room and stuff. Guess who the two people are that hung around Hogan and had conversations with him?
It was Nia Jax and Dan Reichert.
You guys are talking about your Saudi Arabia NFTs.
Got his mic. Jesus. Nia Jackson, Jimmy Hart.
Wow.
And Jimmy Hart would be like ironing his clothes, like ironing Hogan's bandana and stuff. It was
Ironing
just
his
amazing to see.
skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I think that was the strongest women's rumble that we've seen. Good shouts.
Finish wise, definitely. I mean, that was like probably the most exciting finish to that for sure.
And we can't say enough about Rhea. She has it.
She
and
rules.
for her, at her, what is she,
Dude.
26, to like
God.
have
don't say
everything. Like,
that.
she's good in the ring. She's got that charisma. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And just even stuff that wasn't on TV. Because, like, at one point, when Damage Control and Becky were, like, battling out of the ring and everything, obviously the cameras were on that. And I looked over and Rhea's in the ring, just, like, laughing her ass off and pointing like the world's biggest asshole. And I'm like, man, she knows she's not on TV and she's still just being, like, hilarious and entertaining. Like,
Yeah.
Rhea's the absolute best.
She
She's
just
so
gets
good.
it. Yeah,
I was
need.
I was definitely hoping for Rhea and Bianca as the match, though.
They did that, though. Whoa, for the match. Okay, they had her,
Right, right.
those two at the end of the Rumble that one
Yes,
year.
yes.
But
Yeah,
I guess Rhea and Charlotte, they have that history because Charlotte took the
Right,
title
I
off of
understand.
Rhea.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
and Rhea's
Yeah.
completely different than where she was in NXT at this point. Oh my
Different
god,
human being.
different
Yeah.
human being, fantastic.
Yep.
All right, let's save the pitch black match again.
Oh my.
I don't have too much to say about the Bianca Alexa match.
Bianca's the best. She didn't have a lot to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a means to an end. I feel like that match was.
Who's coming for Bianca at Mania then? Is it
That's a great question.
Damage Control? Do they have enough stock at this point, or
Who's a heel? I mean,
Unless they
I feel like her and
turn
Bayley.
Asuka, which I don't know if they would do yet.
Yeah, her and Bayley worked together a ton already last year.
Yeah.
Can't imagine it's
Already
that.
happened.
That's
Unless
a
they
great
run her
question.
and Becky again.
But Becky's a baby face now. You'd think you'd do a heel.
Sure.
And Asuka, even though she's like an evil clown, is still like seems like a baby.
she's a
face. I
cool
like
evil
Boo
clown
Asuka.
at least, you know?
she's-
A
yeah,
neutral
yeah.
evil clown, maybe.
Yeah, it's like she's like Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. It's
I don't think there's anything
Yeah.
neutral about Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth was a baby face. He's the cover star. He's the John Cena of Twisted Metal.
I thought he was a serial killer.
Well, yeah,
So's John Cena.
but they're all serial killers. Like, so John Cena.
She should be more like
Allegedly.
Dr. Octo from-
Allegedly.
Allegedly
Dr.
for
Octo
legal
from
purposes.
Metalocalypse would be awesome.
Is there a legend that could come back and face Bianca?
I mean,
There was somebody that
couple
eliminated a bunch
things.
of people from that Rumble that could be in that match.
Oh
different.
no, they're doing the women's. Oh boy, the women's chamber this year, right? It's for who's gonna face Bianca, right? That's how it's working.
I believe so. They
Yeah.
announced the participants.
Yeah, so it's the final 4 from the Rumble, other than Rhea, and then I think there's 2 mystery spots still.
That's right.
So Liv, Asuka is in it.
Asuka. Right.
I think Nikki Cross. And I think is Piper Niven in it?
It's Liv, Raquel,
Oh,
Nikki Cross, and Asuka, and then 2 mystery.
I mean, it's got to be Oscar or Liv unless one of these mystery, like you just do face versus face, I guess, unless one of these mysteries is like this heel that suddenly
I don't know
makes
if
sense.
is anyone out, like anyone injured that we're not thinking of here that could
Big
fit?
stars.
Naomi,
Charlotte's
come back?
Oh,
She wouldn't come back as a heel.
no, you can't
But
have
you could do
Naomi as a-
babyface.
You think it has to be face heel for that?
Doesn't have to be.
Doesn't
They've
have to
done babyface.
Usually
babyface
it
enough
is though,
times.
right?
But
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to be the main event for night 1 of WrestleMania? I guess it maybe isn't going to be the Bianca Belair match. Maybe it's going to be.
Do they typically do women's title, men's title?
In the
Typically,
2 night
that's
ones,
happened.
they've done it. It was
Yeah.
Bianca
Yeah.
Sasha and it was Bianca Becky. No, Bianca Becky was middle of the card. What the fuck was it?
Bianca Sasha was maybe the only one that didn't main event, huh?
Last year was Austin and KO, and then it was Brock and Roman. So it was
sure.
2 dude
Always.
things last time. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. They've only done two night ones.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
turn Raquel into like a monster heel and the build up.
It's too early for her, I think.
Maybe if you did a triple threat with 3 of those big faces we were talking about.
I mean,
Liv,
out of the list,
Asuka.
I mean, obviously, unless there's 2 like crazy, people in the to be determined spot. I mean, I would give it to Asuka for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there was a tease that maybe Alexa might be getting some Uncle Howdy powers. So maybe that's it. Uncle Howdy powered up stat boost Alexa Bliss.
where on like the Goku power energy level is the Uncle Howdy boost? Is it KO?
It's the blue hair.
It's
blue
a blue
Yeah.
hair. Holy
It's her coming out of a
shit.
box-like structure with a bunch of fucking oil coming out of her face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Uncle Howdy is a nerf. Actually, it'll ruin.
I mean,
It is
that
Bo
seems to be
Dallas,
the case.
after all.
Hey, I still believe in him, man. I still believe this whole time.
He's taking a turn, man. He's got an evil top hat or something now.
That wasn't him who missed, right? That was somebody else with the costume when they just completely missed
No,
the
that
hide
was,
spot.
I mean, I don't know why you would put he's a wrestler. Like, I mean, he could have done that jump.
Wow.
Although John Blood here exposing the business, putting up a video of him like missing pretty
Listen,
wide.
It was too funny to not do it. Are we talking about this match now? I'm getting too excited. I don't
We have
want
to do it.
I didn't even
Okay.
know that was you, John. So basically, I saw a thing on like Reddit or something where it's like, oh, a different angle of a big spot from last night. And I clicked it, not knowing it was Johnny. I just hit play on the video, and then I just hear Johnny going, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh, that was him that tweeted it." Okay, great.
All right, let's get to it. The real main event here. Forget Roman and KO and like the live theater performance that happened there. We have this is the epitome of wrestling. We have the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match where Bray Wyatt against LA Knight.
So I will let you know. I am a Bray Wyatt Kool-Aid drinker. I love all the Bray Wyatt bullshit. I love all of it. And I will
What
always
percent of
love
that is
all-
ironic?
Why is that?
What percent of your love is ironic?
No, it's 100% not. I love Bray Wyatt. I love The Fiend. If I could have, I would have bought the Fiend title belt, but it was like $4,000. I'm not doing that. So I was.
We'll make you one
I
out
know-
of the bag of hair that Mike has.
Oh, great.
There we go.
The hair belt championship. Did any of you have any clue what this was meant to be beforehand?
Cosmic bowling wrestling match.
In my mind, I was like, they're gonna just turn the lights out and like that's it. I'm gonna have to hear them go like the WWE for All game.
I mean, they say pitch black, so yeah, you assume. I guess I assumed it would just be like, but didn't Control Your Narrative fucking do that, like an all dark match?
They did
not that long
a
ago.
legit dark match, and you can find it on YouTube. It's an actual dark match where the match is just in dark, and someone in the crowd just at one point midway through the match yells, "This is stupid."
Good.
So that's how that went. But
I
so
like what they
Mountain
did
Dew
with it.
Black
It was
match-
dumb and gimmicky. It's kind of like what I love about wrestling, where it's just like we have the super serious thing where it's like, oh, I've been here for 4 months talking all cryptically and the serious, I have this inner
Mountain
struggle and all
Dew.
that. And then you have a fucking cosmic bowling match with fucking Mountain Dew logos everywhere. I'm like,
Yes.
wrestling! Yes!
Yes.
It's perfect. It's the perfect. It's a perfect illustration of what wrestling can be and should be. It should look like a skating rink has come to life and is going to attack you.
Oh my God!
It rules. I had a real good time watching that really dumb fight.
I get that. This maybe wasn't the tie. Bray's like come back for his real big match. I know, he's been cut off like so many times before. They just had to think like, what did the Undertaker whisper to him? Oh, he's carrying the torch. Then he does a fucking Mountain Dew pitch black match with glow in the dark ring ropes. Come on.
I love it. I think having it screw up Bray's come back again only makes it better for me.
In kayfabe, did LA Knight know what this match was, or did he just really want to wear glow in the dark underwear for this match?
I think he was already gonna wear glow. I think he always wears glow in the dark underwear.
Sure.
Now, John, as a Fiend and Bray Wyatt lore historian, I didn't see every SmackDown leading up to it, but why was he feuding with LA Knight? I don't really remember how this started.
LA Knight disrespected him big style while Bray was trying to, do his speeches every week, and he slapped him in the face and he interrupted him.
I could guzzle Mountain Dew faster than you.
He out monologued.
I think Bray could do it.
Yeah, that's why he was offended. Wouldn't you? You could do it faster.
I was hoping there would be a pool of Mountain Dew pitch black that someone gets body slammed into.
It's like the Mimosa Mayhem match.
Like yes, exactly.
Oh my!
Have you guys tried Mountain Dew pitch black?
I
did. No, because they don't have a zero version. Mountain Dew sucks.
Scared
I was at
of
the grocery store yesterday, getting mad at the grocery store because there's No, I haven't seen it. There were 19 flavors of Mountain Dew. They all seem so fun and gimmicky, and I love Mountain Dew. I want to try them all, but I don't drink real cola. I drink zero stuff. You can maybe find a Code Red Zero in a Blue Moon at a gas station somewhere. Normal Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew is great, but they don't fucking have anything else. None of that Live Wire, Baja Blast Zero they have.
Yeah.
But you got to go to a Taco Bell.
You only drink crypto soda.
Some good news here, Dan. Mountain Dew Pitch Black Zero Sugar is available.
Whoa, is there a location finder? Because I will drive someplace and load up my trunk.
There's a purple, it's a purple bottle, actually, which is very cool.
I drove an hour to get, when I found out they made a Major Melon Zero, I drove to a Walmart an hour away and filled up my entire drive. I have a picture of me with fucking 30 12-packs of Major Melon Zero.
I did try the Mountain Dew Pitch Black, though. It's Mountain Dew with a weird, hint of minty aftertaste.
I thought it was supposed to be grapey.
I thought so too, and it was not. It was a little minty, cool.
Yeah, it's the red wine of Mountain Dew. Yeah.
What?
But yeah.
You can buy it from Walmart.com.
There you go. Get it.
Like
you got to do a
those
review
things.
now.
Oh my God, I'm going to do this. Okay, excellent. Thank you for the heads up.
Who stuffed the announcer's table full of glow in the dark confetti or whatever?
Pat.
So.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, I was on my flight back from the show to Philadelphia. I'm sitting next to a guy, and he's like, "Oh, what are you here for?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm playing I'm a loser to play the video games. Don't worry." He's like, "Oh, I was just working with WWE. I helped with all the UV stuff for the Pitch Black match." I said, "What?"
Oh,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So he was telling me they were putting up doing the UV design and the graphics for all the Firefly logos everywhere, and helped with the shit that they put on the tables and all the lights and the pyro. And I did not have it in my heart to tell him that everyone hated that match.
Jeff Grubb liked it. Don't worry. I'm sure he's going to get plenty of work in the future. This is the first of many Mountain Dew Pitch
He works on
matches.
some high. I forget what he works on some pretty popular HBO show, or at least he said it was a big budget HBO
Euphoria.
show. Stuff.
The Last of Us.
You met Pedro Pascal. He was
Sopranos. Actually, it was from 20 years ago.
Yeah. Did you guys see that a clicker was on an SNL promo now? I can't believe video games finally made it.
Yeah, God, yeah.
So the match itself,
yes,
it was a Bray Wyatt, hits all the classics match. Which is what I like, because I'm a Bray Wyatt Kool-Aid drinker. I love to see him win.
You're Bray Wyatt. You keep saying that. You're a Bray Wyatt Mountain Dew Pitch Black drinker.
Correct. Sorry, you're right. That's 100% true.
Bray Wyatt flavored Mountain Dew.
I get zero sugar for Dan. I'll drink that for him. So Bray hits all the classics, does all his stuff. He turns into a lizard or something. I don't know what happened.
With the eyes?
Yeah,
you know what
he
was
had
fucked up?
scales.
Well, it was fucked up because he on the Titantrons, you could see the glowy red eyes and all the glowy stuff on his skin. But I was in the third row and you could see all of the skin stuff, but his eyes weren't if they were red, it was very, very subtle, but they were fucking glowing Terminator eyes on screen. So I don't know what kind of
shit on screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of filter or whatever was going on there.
Maybe it was After Effects, those fake fireworks outdoor shots that they had on the broadcast. Oh my God.
Those aren't fake.
On the outside of the they definitely were CG fireworks on the external to the stadium.
Oh wait, at the Rumble?
Yes.
Yeah, so at the Rumble,
I didn't see
on
the
the
Rumble,
broadcast,
but
they
in
were
like
showing
Mania.
outdoor shots of the arena with fireworks shooting off the arena, clearly fake.
Yes.
Okay,
CG.
I guess I didn't see it during the Rumble, but during Mania they do the outside arena shots.
Yeah.
Right, but
as far as I know, those
but
are
those are
real.
usually open stadiums where people inside the stadium could see them. I
Not
don't think they were
always.
going to. Okay, but these were fake. These were fake.
These were fake.
Okay. Yeah, because the open stadium ones I've been at, I know shoot fireworks when I
some
see
real
them.
ones. The big ones you could see on TV were fake.
Wrestling pyro is not fake. It's just scripted, guys. I mean, I really.
Yeah,
there we go. There we go.
Choreographed.
It's a misnomer. Yeah.
It's live theater. It's live theater. Any other thoughts about the Mountain Dew pitch black match? I'm glad that Bray won a match.
Thank you.
Better
Me
win
too.
it.
His
Imagine if he
pay-per-view record is horrible, I'm sure. Never wins on pay-per-view.
Are we
Well,
going to learn who the four other spooky friends are? Like he's got the rabbit and all that.
I don't
bullshit, the
think
pig and
anyone
stuff.
knows. I don't think
I
anyone
know
knows.
they're just going to stay that. They just exist. Those are them.
Are they going to wrestle? Like, is Bo going to wrestle as Uncle Howdy? Like, I would love to
hope
know
so.
what the long-term plan is here, you know?
Well, you know, as a Bray Wyatt fan, you have to stick for the long haul, you know?
It always pays off. It always pays off.
Don't hurt John here. Don't hurt John here. John's
It
a
always
friend.
makes sense and pays off. Both of them.
Always, bro.
Doesn't just get
That's the part we all
RKO'd
wanna
after
talk
coming out of a
about.
box at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
I just hope that he projects bugs onto the mat again.
Oh,
Oh,
my
God.
God! I was as soon as that happened, I was like, "This isn't gonna. This is
The
ending
WrestleMania
very
moment,
poorly."
and I won't hear
Jeff would
anything
love
else.
it. Jeff would talk about how great it is and how wrestling is so wacky and fun. That's why I love it.
Thank you, bro. I love the butt
Yes.
flapper, bro. This is my guy
Okay.
right here.
All right, all right.
Butt flapper, get it, bro.
Let's get to the actual main event. Surprisingly, it wasn't the Mountain Dew pitch black match. It
Wait,
was.
we got to talk about the end of the pitch black match. Hold on now.
I was just trying to.
You cannot skip the dive, bro.
We're like
This is
multiple
when you.
Shadow Men. I don't know. You guys explain it. I don't know.
So,
John's the lore historian.
Yeah.
thank you so
Right,
much.
right.
bro.
I don't
Yeah.
remember these in the initial lore, but please, John.
Please put some respect on my name with the Bray Wyatt.
course.
love. Thank you so much. All right, so they do a little gimmick. They're brawling out in the crowd, and they brawl out to this little area. So I'm up in the press box. I can see directly down to this just big platform that they're on here. So they're brawling up to it. Bray puts him in the claw, knocks him down. I'm like, oh, okay. I can't see shit. So I don't know what's going on here. Then my buddy Macho next to me says, oh, there's Uncle Howdy up there with his big hat. I said, oh, look at that big hat. He does have a big hat, doesn't he? So he's just standing up there. I'm like, okay. I'm going to record this because I need to for my, just for my own entertainment.
For your collection. Yeah.
Yes, of course. My collection of Bray Wyatt videos.
Yeah. For the shrine. Right.
So Uncle Howdy jumps off this gimmick, lands, and there's a explosion like a second after. I said, what the fuck did I just see? It wasn't until I looked back on my phone that I realized that he completely missed, like astronomically missed, which I mean, good for him, brother, saving, protecting LA Knight. This is a good worker right here.
There you go.
It looked horrible.
He just like fell into a hole, basically.
Hey, you know,
yes,
everything is pitch black. You're gonna miss
true.
if you can't
That's
see where you're going.
And nobody
I'm
would have
watching-
known if John didn't expose the business up there.
Yeah, I'm watching your video now. It is hilarious.
You
He's
can
like,
see, yes, he lands like, probably a foot away from him, and then pyro goes off. It was
Pyro.
very fun. I was very happy that I was there to witness that that amazing Bray Wyatt.
That's
moment.
incredible.
I
well, he
almost,
couldn't see because it was pitch black.
That's fair.
yeah, I kind of
All
wish
the
this
Bray
was.
stuff. I'm not a Bray Kool-Aid drinker, but
Mountain
at
Dew
least
sipper?
Sipper, yeah. Well, at least it's memorable, even when it's stupid and doesn't make sense and doesn't pay off. Like I'm gonna remember Alexa
Yes.
squirting on top of a box with fucking stuff coming out of her.
Phrasing,
What?
phrasing, Dan,
too,
phrasing,
bro.
Dan, phrasing, Dan.
Hang on.
OnlyFans too.
Crazy.
100%.
Okay.
I'm with it, bro.
Leaking oil out of her eyes, and then
100%.
Bray
That's what they
Bray
call
got
it.
set on fire and melted in a ring.
Yeah,
He
his
fucking,
house got
I'm gonna
burned
remember all
down.
that dumb shit. Yeah.
That is my number one Bray Wyatt defense, Dan. I didn't even have to say it. Everything he does is memorable, and that's why he's the best.
His stupid belt. I'll remember that dumbass
His
belt. I was
head
working
lantern.
there when I saw the WWE shop thing. I was like, are these motherfuckers really selling it for that much?
A beheaded lantern.
Meanwhile, Johnny's like, add to cart when it goes up.
I begged my girlfriend to buy that for me for my birthday. She did not do it.
She just
Good
looked
on
at
her.
you and
Good on her.
quietly left the room afterwards.
I also asked her to buy me the Fiend shorts that say "Let me in on the ass," and she did not do that.
You know, I don't know who we got to talk to, but we got to get that also on the Giant Bomb merch store eventually.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Last but not least, certainly not fucking least. Jesus Christ, we have Roman Reigns going against Kevin Owens for the undisputed Universal Championship. The Uwu? Is this the Uwu? Yes.
Oh, yes, correct.
Roman Reigns winning, and then an absolute masterpiece, gentlemen.
Crazy stuff, man.
I cried.
Especially being in that building. It was like I don't know if anyone's sitting down. Like even in the press box, everyone's standing up. We're all like just waiting to see, because there was a lot of stuff people were predicting. Like, okay, someone's making the save. Here comes old Stone Cold. Here comes The Rock. You know, somebody's gonna come make the save, or something's gonna happen. So everyone's just watching the whole time, like glued to this. What was it, like a 10-minute post-match segment?
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
Really
Hot,
brief.
bro. This is awesome.
And you know, it got me thinking. Would I mind seeing Jay and Roman go at it, running it back?
Why not?
You know,
At some point.
At some point,
there's
that's
a lot
not
to do here.
Mania.
no, not at Mania.
No, not right. Sure.
Yeah. How loud? Because that on TV, that pop, the moment
Dude.
that Sammy hit Roman with the chair, was like the loudest I've heard since maybe like Austin era, right? Like the classic. Oh, Austin's not in the building, then he shows up in the building.
It was-
everyone freaks out.
It was like, it was just as loud as you think it would be. 50,000. Like, it was a reaction of 51,000 people at the same time is what it was. It was so loud, and everyone was like, yeah, fuck yeah.
The emotions the emotions were so good. The selling it from both Jay and Sammy, and just Sammy turning to Jay, and Jay just like vibrating. It is just pure emotion, and it was worked so well. And it's like I get there's some second guessing about, is this the right moment? They pulled it off, so it's the right moment. Like, it's hard to imagine it getting better than that.
And with Montreal next month, like that's
absolutely.
the perfect time to do that
It's gonna be
match.
so crazy.
I'm so glad that no one did come out, because it really just solidified
It didn't
that.
need it.
Yeah, the bloodline, Sammy, KO. It's like, this is what folks are going to remember like 5-6 years down the line, of like, these are like the top stars here. I feel like Roman crossed into like an upper echelon and is no longer a myopic star.
And I think he was, and he did so. I think he did so on the shoulders of Sammy and Kevin Owens, who, like, I think when they first came to WWE, everyone's like, you should maybe be building the future of your company around these two guys. Yes. And it took a long time. We're here though, and it worked better than anyone ever expected it to
Look
work.
at Sammy's journey
amazing.
from last Mania with the Jackass crew, which I thought was an amazing match,
It was.
A lot of fun.
to where he's at now, and like the difference a year can make.
And this is like WWE's version of like prestige TV in terms of like, you look at every big storyline, every long running storyline they've done. It's never been like this, where it's actually like, you would have like Austin and McMahon feuding for like years, but it was just like, oh, this week, Austin shits in his car. Or this week, whatever. It's just how is he going to fuck with Vince this week? It was awesome. It was the golden times. It was we'll never have it again. It was the best. But this is like a long running story that has pretty much hit every time. Like, you can tell the amount of focus they put on this story versus like everything else. And like creative in general has been a lot better in the last, 7-8 months or so.
How strange.
But weird. But this is the one where it's like, clearly they're putting so much time, and like even long segments. That fucking trial thing was like 20-30 minutes or whatever. It was really good.
Yeah,
like,
who's been booking or producing these segments behind the scenes? Because like, damn, like, this isn't maybe this is too presumptuous, but like, fucking throw them an Emmy for like daytime TV.
Well, not too long ago, it was sometime last year, they hired Rob Fee as the director of long-term creative. So
Right.
They hired somebody who knows the business, and specifically his role is to do long-term creative, where historically you hear all the stories about like they would bring in writers in the 2000s or whatever who would like have a whiteboard and be like, okay, so we're gonna track who everyone's feuding with, where these stories are going, and they would get like laughed out of the room. It's like, that's not how we do it, pal. But now They're a little more open to long-term storytelling.
And
I can't
look
wait
at
to
it.
see. I can't wait for the reveal to be that it was actually just Vince the whole time. He's just been rocking.
I
It
watched
was me,
Succession,
Sammy.
I love the Canadians.
I think the really impressive thing here is that they did find out a way to do it and still make it kind of a WWE story. It still does have the big, strong guy Roman at the center. They just filled in the color, all the stuff alongside that is these guys from the indies that have always had this stuff in them. And it's like it all works. They all need each other for the story to work. Yeah. It's like you could do a story with just that they've done a million times with Sammy and KO over and over. No, it works better if you then infuse it into what makes WWE. So just incredible execution.
And I love the way that the whole Roman getting hit in the back with the chair just mirrored what happened with the Shield all those years ago. Even sold it the same way.
Yep.
Just these little touches. I mean, I guess maybe a big touch.
It was definitive too, because they've teased stuff before where it's like, oh, they put out a hit on Heyman and Roman Superman punched them, or like, oh, are we going to be, we're kicking Sammy out, or are we not? There were times where they teased dissension within the group, but this was like, he's dead on the ground, we're ripping up the pedals and throwing it on him, it was very definitive, we are not together anymore. A
lot of very cool little. I'm pretty interested to see how this elevates Solo.
Oh, Solo
is awesome. I love Solo.
Dude, he is playing his role so well in this group. Yeah,
absolutely.
Jimmy J. I don't know. It's so fun to be witnessing wrestling history happening. Just like with the Usos.
It's going to suck when this is over because we're not going to have something like this probably for a long time.
No, you can't just do this again. Yeah,
we're going to have Cody Rhodes white meat baby face promos for 6
Well, there's always the Fiend, boys. We're always Bray
God
Wyatt
damn it.
there waiting for you.
It's still inside of him.
He's got to spit.
Wait, isn't the Fiend one of his spooky buddies now?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know.
Well, no, because
you don't know?
They showed all the people in the crowd. They showed the fucking bunny and the pig, and then there was a Fiend dude.
Not the Rumble, I don't think. I don't think the Fiend.
Okay, well, there was a Fiend dude at Extreme Rules or whatever.
I think that was just Hunter Biden and his entourage. That had nothing to do with him.
Listen, I want the Fiend back. That's my favorite fucking
adrenaline in my soul. The Fiend will job to Cody Rhodes.
Oh no!
Yeah, that'll happen. That will happen.
Yeah. He's.
How did you feel about Goldberg beating Fiend, Johnny?
Dude, Dan. Oh my God, I was in an airport, ready to get on a plane to go to PAX East, and I told my buddy, I said, Bronson, I have to buy the Wi-Fi. He said, why? I said, I have to make sure the Fiend doesn't lose, Bronson. I need to know. And we're in the air, shitty Wi-Fi, and I watched Goldberg kill him, and it hurt my feelings so bad. It was horrible, bro. I couldn't fucking believe it.
I was sitting in Stamford. I was working for WWE at the time. I was in a meeting, and but there was glass walls, and there are TVs everywhere at the office that are showing whatever premium live event is going on. And it was during the day because it was Saudi or Australia or something. And
Saudi.
No one thought for a second.
You know where it was, Dan.
What is it? Super Showdown 20. I think it might have been Australia. Hang on.
Saudi for sure.
Okay, it was Saudi. That's why I looked
they don't
over
have
there.
NFTs in Australia. You don't care about that.
Right. Yes, I pick my favorite countries as NFT availability. I look over and it didn't even cross my mind that they would end the Fiend reign that early. And I just look over and I had to no sell it. I'm in a meeting in Stamford and I see the TV and I just see Goldberg holding the belt up. And I'm just what the fuck? And I had to just no sell it.
It was heartbreaking for yeah. Thank you for bringing back horrible memories, Dan.
Well, it all paid off and made sense, so it's okay.
As it always does.
It always pays off.
It'll all these loose threads will eventually tie up.
Three things in life are certain.
Yeah.
Taxes and Bray Wyatt storylines paying off. Absolutely.
You will be ashamed of your words and deeds when it all makes sense.
Yes, 100%.
All right, gents, that was the Royal Rumble. Overall, we don't really do any ratings, but pulse check, good, bad, happy, content.
I mean,
I'm always happy to go to a show, and I watched it again, like I said, when I got home, and I thought it was pretty okay. P-OK is what I'd give it.
P-OK. Okay.
Rating, yes.
I
had a lot of fun.
Yes, exactly. I kind of can't get over how good they executed on that, and everything else was just kind of cool to go along with it. That's where I'm at.
I love Roman Reigns. I love and I hate him so much.
As you should, yeah. It's like I said, it's hard to have a bad Rumble, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good, and then that last segment elevated things a good deal.
I might be. I wonder how I would have felt if I saw it on TV. I probably still would have enjoyed it, but somehow this is my first Rumble. I've done like 10 Manias, 10 SummerSlams, and like this is my first Rumble. And Rumble, like Johnny, it's my favorite show.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's why this year it's like, well, I usually always make my way to WrestleMania, but let's do San Antonio this year. And I'm really glad I did.
Nice. Gents, we're reaching the end of our time here, but I just want to ask everyone, okay, like what's the road to Mania look like? For any of these superstars, whether it's the big title picture.
Obviously, we know Roman Cody is,
but how's that story work? How do they insert Cody into this story?
Well, Cody, he just wants the belt. That's it.
Yeah,
that's his whole destiny is getting the belt that Destiny never got. So it could have been Roman, it could have been anyone. It just happens to be Roman.
Talk about his dad.
Yeah,
your dad doesn't exist anymore.
There's more than one wrestling family something. Right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I wonder if they play in. Remember the old Battleground match where it was like Dusty was involved and it was the Shield versus it was Cody and Goldust.
Oh man, I popped big for that. Jesus Christ,
yeah,
that was great.
A hell of a match.
Yeah. That was an awesome match. I mean, if you ask me right now, I imagine Cody beats Roman at Mania.
It has to.
Do I want him to? I don't know. I really don't know. I like the Roman stuff, and again, I'm not like a avid. I don't watch week to week. Like I keep up with I'll go on Squared Circle and watch streamables to catch up on what's going on.
The real way.
Is there a good way to do that? I got a busy life. Is that the right way to do it?
100%. Yeah, you just watch the highlights. I mean, they put up a lot of stuff on YouTube. It's way easier.
There used to be a Twitter account that gift everything, but then they stopped doing WWE stuff because they got a cease and desist.
Yeah, they got lawyers.
Honestly, the official WWE Twitter account and everything will tweet. I mean, there's so many people that tweet out tons of clips and stuff. That's kind of how I keep up with NXT. Is like,
I want to watch 3 hours of Raw and then 2 hours of SmackDown every week.
I did watch it this week, and I fast forwarded, thankfully, YouTube TV. But
those chapter markers. Essential.
Yeah, as a guy that's I'm not an avid watcher. Like I keep up with the pay-per-views. I keep up with what's going on. The Roman stuff is still cool to me. So if they wanted to keep rocking after Mania and keep him with the belts, I don't think I would complain.
And then what do you do with Roman afterwards if he loses? It's
he takes a break.
Takes a long break, but I mean he's not done yet.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You could bring him back. Like if he keeps the title, which I highly doubt, you could bring Cena back in, or you just make it a series.
Okay, wait. I mean, this is a wrestling podcast. Let's just actually fantasy book. What is the way that Sammy could face Roman and actually win it? Like, what would they have to do to build that up and be happy with it? Let's ignore Dan's home country of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't like this gimmick.
Here we go. Here we go. I got it.
Sorry,
I got it.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
Cody Rhodes, because he's so much of a white meat baby face, he's gonna be like, you know what, Sammy, it's your title shot, and then he just gives it to Sammy because he's so nice of a guy.
What if it is something?
It would have to turn into a triple threat.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the 2014 deal. So let's say they are trying their damnedest to make it Cody versus Roman, but that's kind of remember the old Orton versus Batista thing they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But if it becomes overwhelming fan reaction, if they are booing and shitting on every Cody segment and chanting for Sammy, it's to the point where it forces WWE's hand. I don't know if it's good because the Cody thing actually works in WWE. AEW is a more cynical, hardcore crowd, and they wanted to shit on a just pure white meat, 80s babyface.
Right.
That shtick works better in WWE. You go to a show, you're going to see that fucking Nightmare Family skull on so many. On my plane, I saw several kids
top
with
merch
Nightmare
seller.
Family hats and stuff.
Right.
That's the thing. It's working. So I don't know if you're going to see that like en masse rejection of the storyline the way you saw Orton and Batista.
What if they just try and recapture the Yes Movement and Kofi Mania? Like Sammy has to go through a gauntlet, or like KO has to do.
Sammy going through a gauntlet, yeah.
KO has to go through a gauntlet for Sammy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could see it. I imagine if it was to be that it's a triple threat, the finish of Roman and Sammy in Montreal can't be clean. It has to be a big fuck.
Johnny Knoxville is going to come out with a giant mousetrap again.
Something where Sammy has him beat, and then Roman either maybe Roman hits him with the chair in the match and gets DQ'd or some shit. Like not a definitive finish, so they have something where Sammy can hold his hat on. You didn't beat me, motherfucker. And Cody was like, well, you didn't beat a motherfucker, but I could beat both you guys. I don't give a shit. And something that we have to,
that makes
something
no
like
sense.
that.
Maybe they make it for
the triple threat would be hot. The triplet would be hot.
Yeah.
Man. That would be ideal for me. Is like, that's the culmination of, a year of build for Cody, Roman, and Sammy would be Mania.
I like when Cody's in the gray area rather than like.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike.
The
You were
triple
going to
threat
say.
also kind of gives them an out, and I don't know if I want them to take it of having Roman Reigns lose the titles without getting pinned.
And say, he still hasn't been pinned in 2+ years. Yeah.
Sure. And then they run that back at No Way Out. I don't know what the show after Backlash. That's what
WrestleMania.
Great Balls of Fire? No?
Yeah.
Great Balls of Fire.
Everybody called it Craplash because people are like, oh, it's never good.
That's awesome. With the
It
hooks.
usually was. Maybe my friend just made that up and told me it used to be bad.
In my mind, it was good because it was always just rematches from Mania. And I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Any other fantasy booking, folks, of how we get there or how other stuff happens?
Well, I think you're going to see Seth and Logan, which, look, that's going to be a fucking good match.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's no way that's not a
Yes,
bad match.
It's going to be a banger. Yeah.
Brock, they teased the Gunther thing. I think Brock and Gunther would kick ass, but
That'd be awesome. I imagine they do him and Lashley at Chamber, right? Unless he's not working that.
I don't know. That's a good question. They definitely.
I feel like that was a big Brock fucked him up and then Lashley eliminated him.
Yeah.
That's right.
Most importantly, boys, what is Bray Wyatt doing at WrestleMania?
It's going to be the Tostitos Scoops match.
Welcome to the welcome to the Bojangles brownout match.
Let's go! Oh, we're not going to have a brownout match. We're not doing a brownout match. The KFC Famous
great.
Bowl brownout match.
I have no idea. I really don't know what they do with him now.
It's like, he can't go against LA Knight again. Does he fight
What's
himself?
John, what do you
Strowman
want?
up to?
Wait, him versus Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy, right?
Yeah, you're probably
Whatever the
right.
fuck he is.
Can Bo go like that though?
Bo can wrestle. He was NXT champion.
Wrestlers wrestle, bro.
Well,
It sounds like you don't believe.
I believe in the message. I don't know if I believe in his abilities.
Wow.
Did you hear
Perfectly
wrestlers
doable.
wrestle? Bro.
Thank you, bro.
Fair. I can't
got
step
you,
in
fellow
between the
butt
butt slappers, you know?
Yeah, don't you ever
You
stand
better
between
not.
these cheeks. Don't stand between these cheeks.
Messed up. Bray and Uncle Howdy sounds right. Seth and Logan's probably solid. Don't laugh.
He'll still lose somehow.
Yeah, Uncle Howdy will go over.
You're right. It seems they're doing something with Alexa and that shit too. So I imagine,
Great.
unless she's involved in that match, and what you said she squirted or something, Dan? Was that
That was last year. No, that
Right.
2 years ago.
Greg Miller will get cream pied again, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they're great.
yes.
Mhm. Miller versus JBL. Yeah.
Yep.
In a cream pie match.
This is your legacy, Greg Miller.
I love how JBL went from years ago hating the shit out of The Miz for being an outsider who could actually work and wrestle to now fucking JBL's like, yeah, I'll do a social media feud with Game Over Greggy. It's like, what happened?
Oh, that rules.
I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed to them doing Gunther and Sheamus at Mania for the IC again.
Oh, yeah, let's
again.
run that
What the
back.
heck?
Yeah, let's run
Yeah,
that
Let
back.
Sheamus
Shit.
get his win.
Fucking good.
Let Sheamus
Why
get
not?
Yeah.
That's right. That's his last belt before he has all of them. Is that what it was? Right, the IC.
Oh, is it really?
Is that right?
I think so,
that's
yeah.
what the angle is.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Huh.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Tom House at
Sheamus,
Mania.
man, Sheamus, Jesus Christ. The last year and a half he's had, too, what an absolute star.
Good on him.
Great.
Good
Yeah.
on him.
Great,
Yeah.
man, yeah.
The other Rumble I was at, besides that weird one in Pittsburgh, was the one Sheamus one in
The 40 man.
No, that's the Alberto
That's Del Rio.
one.
Oh,
This is when he
that
dumped
was a year
Jericho,
after.
right? Jericho came back
Him
and Sheamus beat him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
St.
okay,
Louis,
that's
I
right.
think 2011.
Oh, that's right. That's when everyone thought Jericho was going to win because
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I kind of did too, and I was kind of
Yeah,
like
I did too.
Me
rooting
too.
for it and was a little disappointed, but
We thinking any celebrity matches besides Logan Paul this year, folks?
Pedro Pascal.
Should we
Sure.
see Bad Bunny again? I mean, Bad Bunny still definitely.
Bad Bunny's in the game, right? So
Yep.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, wait a second. Now that Cody's in WWE, is what's his face, the Green Arrow, going to show up?
He was sitting next to me, Steve Amell.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you should have asked him.
I didn't want to be a. I don't actually know what he's in. I know he's a movie guy, but I was like, oh, hey, Steve Amell.
He's
Like,
in the
I know what
Green
he's
Arrow
in.
TV show.
He was
Hello,
on
Stephen Amell.
Heels, right? The show
Yeah.
with CM Punk?
Oh, he's in that
Yeah,
show,
he
right?
was in
Have
it.
you guys
Yeah.
watched that show?
No.
No.
Oh, it's on it. Like in terms of like wrestling shows that are just produced like that, my favorite one. I thought I was gonna not like it. I love Heels. Yeah, highly recommend Heels.
Speaking about wrestling TV shows, what has been happening in the Young Rock? Are they still setting up to Mania? Because
I actually have no idea. I gave up.
I
on
saw a
that after episode
commercial.
1.
They had a guy playing Pat Patterson who did not look like Pat Patterson, basically explaining the rules of the Rumble. Like, I think they're doing like a Rumble episode lately.
Oh.
Okay.
Would The Rock need the rules of the Rumble explained to him? I know they're explaining to the audience. I get it, but still.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell
Maybe
you,
it was his first one.
they've already introduced young Roman Reigns in the Young Rock universe.
Really?
And they had like a little sidebar or freeze frame where it's like, we'll talk about Joe later on. Him and I've got history.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I've never seen an episode of this show. I'm just imagining like him getting there the first day. He's like, this ring is a square. It's supposed to be a circle. What's going on?
Something smells.
Is someone cooking?
Yeah.
Something cooking.
Someone in catering really left an impression on young Dwayne.
Someone hits him in the head with like a candy bar, and it's called a Rudy Poo or something.
Yeah, he's like watching.
Wait a minute.
He's watching.
I could shine this up. I could shine this up really nice.
They
nice.
someone his dad held up like 2 pieces of cotton candy near his butt. It's like, haha, Dad, you have a candy ass.
Yeah.
Remember that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean 5 where it's like young Jack Sparrow and like a bunch of people just line up and literally hand him his costume one by one? I hope that this show is just that.
Yeah.
Over like
they've got
5 seasons.
They've got strudel at
Zamboni
catering.
ride. Did you say jabroni? What?
Yeah.
Also, they have strudel at catering.
Yes.
I was putting Young Rock together. Sounds way better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's make a show. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll be The Rock. It won't be a problem at all.
No.
You got the hair over there, right?
That's right. I can do an eyebrow.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. Beautiful.
What can you smell? What?
Yeah.
The Rock's
Uncanny.
cooking.
It's
Yeah,
uncanny.
that's really
Let
uncanny.
me play Dave Bautista, and then we're all good.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Well, that was the Royal Rumble, and that was the Power Bombcast. John, thanks for joining us, my friend.
I hope I didn't ruin the show too much. I imagine I did.
No.
You
If
weren't-
anything, we learned more about Dan.
Revealed a lot about our
God
coworker
damn.
today.
Thank you
You
guys.
weren't the
this
least
man
bit
over.
myopic.
I really appreciate you guys having me. This is very
John,
good.
Thanks,
where
man.
can
great having
you plugged your stuff at the beginning, but I'm going to ask you to plug again. Where can folks find you on the internet?
You can check me out youtube.com/New Legacy Inc. as well as on Twitch. Do a lot of wrestling video game stuff there if you like the wrestling video games. If you like wrestling podcasts, I can't imagine you do if you're listening. I mean, nobody listens to those. You can every Monday, the Deadlock Wrestling Podcast. You can find it anywhere that you get your podcasts. And check out Deadlock Pro Wrestling at deadlockpro.com. We got a show coming up February 25th in Raleigh, North Carolina. Lucky Ali defends the world title against Colby Carino in a title versus career match.
Colby Carino.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mike Minotti, plugs for you, sir. Not hair plugs. You can put the bag of hair away. Where can folks find you, sir?
I just imagine like the pallbearer walking around with my hair all the time.
Yeah, it's
Oh
squeaking on
no,
your
that's in
power.
my head.
Quit showing the hair.
No, it's good.
Never stop showing my hair.
Not good. Does the hair have a
what they
QR
did to
code
me?
on it?
Fuck you, Nintendo.
What brand bag is that?
I don't know. It's at that party we were at. I
Sports
shaved it
clips.
off.
Sports clips.
It's double packed at
I
least.
got my hair cut in a garage. It's not sports clips.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. GamesBeat.com is where I actually work. A new 90s Disney podcast is out about the return of Jafar and how it created the whole direct-to-video sequel era for Disney. So go to 90sdisney.com to check that out. And then me and Jeff are doing our own stuff over on the Game Mess YouTube channel and having a fun time there.
Mike, if
Return
you
of Jafar. The Return of Jafar, is it better or worse than the Pitch Black match?
Way better.
Okay.
Mike, if you ever get to do an episode about Pirates 5, I would love to be on it.
Not quite in the 90s, but maybe we'll be. That's really all I remember is that scene because it was just incredible.
Was that was that Shoot Johnny or Johnny Depp, or was that CGI
What
Johnny?
to me? Oh,
I think it was de-aged Johnny Depp as like a younger Johnny Depp, and he like saves the ship. So all the old pirates are like, it's like the ceremony. Like, oh, here is my hat, and it's like the hat he wears. And like, here is my belt, and it's his belt.
Here's my crippling addiction to alcohol.
Right. It's like that weird thing
Wait,
that
they're ripping off the Last Crusade thing. They're ripping off
yeah,
the
it's
whip
like
thing.
that.
Okay,
but
yeah.
the whole outfit and not cute because
A hero's
it's
journey, if you will, Dan.
right. It's what happens when a character becomes too popular. Then every single thing associated with them becomes sacred, and it's very stupid.
Yes.
Jeff Grubb, Dan Reichert, we can find you here at
We live here.
giantbomb.com.
Yeah.
We live
So
here.
they won't let me out.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Punch Out a lot.
Yeah.
Just play Punch Out. Continue talking about
Charge
Punch
all the
Out.
butt slapping. I'm in a lot of trouble. I gotta actually. It's been a big issue with HR. So yeah.
Well, I'll go vouch for you in that next HR meeting then, Grubb.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'll get them cheeks next time. Thanks, Tim.
And we'll be back. Who the heck knows for another episode of the Power Bombcast. This was fun. I like talking about wrestling. Maybe we'll talk about it, depending on how the chamber is. Maybe we'll talk about the chamber.
Maybe.
You know, stuff is popping off with AEW also.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, March 5th. Yeah, Revolution.
I want to end by saying the hottest take here, and I feel very ashamed saying this. I think Logan Paul might have a better. What's his fucking finishing move?
It's hot.
Frog Splash.
No. He
the
might
buckshot. The buckshot lariat.
He might have a better buckshot lariat than Hangman, and I love
that
Hangman.
right now.
He does, Jan. You're right.
Okay.
No.
We say this. We don't like saying it. We don't like saying it.
No
but
one likes
it's
this.
true.
I just watched that Wednesday match right before this. Yes, he does.
Yes. No. You guys are. I'm not associated with these guys. No.
Yeah,
that
okay.
match did rule, by the way. Hangman versus Moxley.
I love
was
Hangman.
awesome.
I love Hangman.
Jan said it off camera, but Jan also thinks he has a better frog splash than Eddie Guerrero. So.
Wow.
Dan, Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler.
Oh man.
Wow.
And you might. I'm not gonna. The show's
Oh,
over.
what are you gonna say?
The music's playing. The music's playing.
Time.